At the end of every presidential primary, delegates for each respective party get to vote for their candidate. This is called a convention. In the 2020 Democratic National Convention, which took place between August 17th to August 20th, was unique to its place in American history. Its setting was present following nearly 4 years of Trump being the 45th president, and a tumultuous year which has presented many crises. Hello everybody, and welcome to my recap of the 2020 Democratic National Convention, in which I will cover the good and the very, very bad of the Democratic nomination of Joseph R. Biden as President of the United States. I would appreciate it if you guys would give this video a like to help me out in the YouTube algorithm, as it really helps my small channel grow. Thanks everyone. Transition time! So in the build-up for the convention, Joe Biden announced his VP pick, Kamala Harris. Pre-convention polls showed Biden with nearly a double-digit lead against Donald Trump. The DNC this year took place mostly via pre-recorded speeches and Zoom calls, at times leading to awkward silences. Yeah, I get it, we're not really used to this style of presentation, but watching stuff like this on national television is just oh so jarring. I'm going to rate the best part of the night by dictating the effectiveness of the messages at hand, how genuine they are and whatnot. Also, if I say a speech is good, it doesn't necessarily mean I endorse the message of the speech. I'm not trying to advertise one party's beliefs over the other. A lot of these speeches would have been better if there were an actual audience there. Without an audience to rile them up or listen to them, a slew of these speeches came off as fake and without much merit. However, one that did seem genuine was with Kristen Urquiza, who lost her father due to the recent disease. She decided to blame Trump for her loss. No matter who you think is to blame for the crisis, her genuine passion in her short speech was evident in her voice. Bernie Sanders gave a speech about policy and the horrors America currently faces. He argued that Trump was on the verge of ending democracy as we know it, and if he were to be re-elected, he would fundamentally change the United States forever. His job was to rile up supporters of his to go vote for Biden, but it's unclear if he will be successful in doing so. I thought it was a pretty solid speech. It seemed direct and straight to the point. Michelle Obama's speech was the longest of the night, and it was alright. It was really about attacking Trump's character, and that's what a bunch of these speeches really were. Rather than talk policy, it was basically just an infomercial to vote for Joe Biden because he isn't Trump, and nothing will fundamentally change besides the guy who's in the Oval Office. Amy Klobuchar spoke, and she basically said the same thing, except she wasn't wearing any shoes, which she felt the need to post about on her Twitter. John Kasich, former Republican governor of Ohio and combatant of Trump back in 2016, endorsed Joe Biden, and once again, he kept advertising the idea that Joe is a good guy, but nothing else of real substance was brought forth. He did say that he knew Joe, and that he wouldn't move too sharply to the left, which I found very funny and couldn't help but wonder what the progressive wing of the party thought about this. I get it, you guys think Joe Biden is such a wonderful human being, but what type of policies is he trying to promote? What is the party platform? To cap off the first night, the DNC decided to hear one of the worst things known to man.
Children, what's that sound? Everybody look what's going down.
Oh no. My god. What a train wreck. The second day of the DNC included the nomination of Joe Biden, and was better than the first night because they didn't have to suffer through something like this again. The DNC brought even more Republicans to critique Trump and to vote for Joe Biden as president, including notable heavy weapons guy Colin Powell of the Bush administration. I thought it was pretty weird when they brought out a hologram version of John McCain to endorse Joe Biden. Not cool, guys. Joking aside, they were really bringing out the establishment neocons for this day. I get why, I'm just not really a fan of some of these warhawks that have been deemed as patriotic and not supporting their own party. Like, I get it, some of these guys are really polite war criminals. What else is new? During the nomination process, Alexandra Cortez nominated Bernie Sanders, leading to a short and confusing mishap in which some reports suggested her snubbing Joe Biden out of an endorsement. But hey, never fear, the two former presidents are here! Jimmy Carter had a short video in which he announced he was going to run in 2024, with his VP being a bag of peanuts. But in all honesty, it was a simple endorsement for Biden, while Bill Clinton delivered a speech rejecting, you guessed it, Trump. Mr. 23 Trips to Epstein Island delivered a decent enough speech. However, I was surprised to see that he wasn't the main event of the night. That title belonged to Joe Biden, who had a highlighting speech in front of a former classroom in which she taught in. She seemed genuinely into it, and the love between her and Joe Biden was real. It was personal and was one of the few speeches in which you could really tell that they meant it when they said Joe was a good guy. Following Biden's nomination, Joe was congratulated all Evangelion style. This is what boomer liberal heaven looks like. This night was packed with Democratic stars far and wide. I'd argue it was the strongest night in comparison to the two that came before, but like with the rest of the convention, God, was it boring. The mundaneness and lack of actual policy continued to plague the show. What is the real incentive to vote for Biden despite the fact that he's not Trump? God, I need to know. Kamala Harris spoke for 18 minutes, and man was it weird. There was no audience to distract us with applause, which probably contributed to the speech feeling empty. With no key details about policy, just basic talking points of Joe being a superhuman and how he will single-handedly stop the virus. Other speakers included former failure Hillary Clinton. Somehow, she managed to say way more than the keynote speaker even did.
But let's set our sights higher than getting one man out of the White House.
Nancy Pelosi displayed her own 2 cents on the nomination of Biden, although the people at the DNC had no idea when to cue her in.
And now, please welcome Speaker of the United States House of Representatives,
It is my honor
Nancy
to bring you the
Pelosi.
greetings of House Democrats, the most diverse majority in history.
The most important speech of the night came from former President Barack Obama, in which he offered a sharp rebuke of his successor, which was very rare to see. I thought the speech was pretty good, and one of the most powerful ones of the entire convention. It reminded me why people elected him twice, and why he is still so popular. I thought it was pretty odd when he started talking about all the drone strikes he had approved during his administration, but what are you going to do? Kidding aside, unlike other speakers, Obama actually brought forth some good blows against Trump, admitting that he had hoped that Trump would rise to the occasion and take the office seriously, but now realizes that he can't. And his advertisement of Biden seemed sincere. Elizabeth Warren also spoke, but not as the VP nominee, which is something she would have loved to have. To cap off the night, Billie Eilish performed her new single, My Future, at the convention, while also telling her generation to get out there and vote. A song admitting her love to the person she will eventually become, and reflecting upon the person she once was. I really like this single. Its melancholic but yet positive demeanor is bittersweet. One of the more optimistic tracks in Billie's catalog. The final night of the DNC had the return of the Democratic hopefuls, including Andrew Yang, who I view as the future of the Democratic Party, and Pete Buttigieg, who I view as the future rat wing of the party. Another Democratic hopeful who also returned was, this damn guy again? There were also some moments in which I winced at the jokes, but hey, what do I expect from the party at this point?
So what did you think about Kamala Harris's speech last night?
It was tremendous. I was so happy for her.
I know, me too. She was fabulous. I cannot wait to see her debate our current Vice President, Mika Pints. Or, is it Paints?
Will they be stolen from mailboxes as they get put in by the mailman? Will they be taken from the mailmen and the mailwomen?
But let's get to the real main event, Joe Biden's acceptance speech, arguably the most important speech he will ever give in his career. Honestly, it wasn't that bad. There were no notable moments in the speech in which Biden fumbled, and that's a win for him and his party. Biden managed to go through the entire speech making his case for the presidency, arguing that it was time to repair the soul of the nation and to return to normal. It was definitely the highlight of the entire convention. Biden is advertising himself as a return to normalcy candidate, the pause between the madness that has infested the nation within the past 4 years. Overall, if I had to rate the convention, it'd probably be like a 5 out of 10. It wasn't the worst thing in the world, and I did think it went more smoothly compared to 2016's DNC. So I guess you could say that the 2020 DNC was less embarrassing to its predecessor? I don't know. Every time I watch a convention like this, I always get secondhand embarrassment. I mean, remember this thing that they played at the 2016 DNC? I still have nightmares about this. If I have time next week, I'll be back here to cover the 2020 RNC, and something about it seems more entertaining. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Hit it, DNC!